Oops. have returned!
Hey!
Whoa. Cheers guys, welcome back to the Guitar Hour. Thank you so much for your patience. We are here again to present you with another season of the Guitar Hour, Season 2. As usual, my name's Tom Quayle, and as you can see above, this way. Well, as usual, my name's Tom Quayle, but I'm joined by David Beebe.
Hey guys, good to be back.
I'm pointing at the name, Dave Bronze.
The Rock Rabbit.
And Dan Smith.
What are you?
Swing
Squirrel,
apparently.
For some reason, we all need to be
It was either that or Weasel, and I don't really
the Western Weasel.
Western
So, thank you so much for joining us again,
Like
guys.
sex moves.
We've moved to. Oh my god, it started as it's going to go on, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm bringing the tone down very early.
Yeah, we've moved to YouTube because Twitch was giving us some issues, and YouTube, I've got lots of subscribers. R.I.P. Beard, it started already.
Beardgate.
We've decided that me and Dan are going to grow one. Dan's not really pulling his weight, but I've started. Bronzy's going to shave his off soon. Yeah. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. As I say, we've moved to YouTube because Twitch was giving us some issues. Just a few streams in the last season that didn't really work technology-wise, so we've moved to YouTube. So hopefully everything's working. Let us know if you can hear us, guys. Let us know if everything is okay. Guys, just give us a quick chord each on your guitar. Check everyone can hear you. Like one at a time. Give us a G. Give us an A. Give us a D. And I'm going to play an F. Okay, that's good. Let us know if you can hear us all. Why tune in force? We've got the questions coming in already. We have the chat live over there right now. We can see it. It's super cool. I wish I could show it to you.
It's amazing how many different countries there are represented in the chat.
We've got all sorts of different countries.
I'll do a picture now.
Yeah, you post a picture of the chat. Alright guys, so as usual, we've got all the usual stuff to come. We've got some amazing stuff for you this season. Stuff we've already shot, stuff we're shooting over the next coming days and weeks and so on and so forth. As usual with this season, we've got 6 shows again for you for Season 2 with a special guest at the end, but we do have some very cool stuff with special guests that we've already shot lined up for you already that's going to go both on the YouTube channel and on Facebook and on the show as well, so we'll be streaming that stuff live.
So extra minutes.
Which is super cool, Guitar Extra Minutes.
And the podcast as well.
Then the podcast as well. Where can they get the podcast, Mr. Beebe?
They can get the podcast at theguitarhour.libsyn.com. We'll link it.
Or just search for The Guitar Hour on iTunes.
Maybe if you type it into the chat, maybe.
Yeah.
So before we get really deep into these, I just want to tell you a couple of things that we're going to be running this season that you guys can get involved in, which are kind of cool. There's 2 things really that we really want you to get involved with. The first is, and Dan obviously came up with this, Mr. Pun, it's called Gasturbation.
G-A-S.
G.A.S.turbation. Gasturbation. Now this basically, gas obviously being gear acquisition syndrome. We and everybody else love looking at pictures of your amazing rigs. Or not so amazing rigs, if you want to get some better gear, show us your gear that you'd like to improve upon. We want to see pictures of your rigs, and we're actually going to do a little competition in the giveaway for the most interesting, hilarious, exciting, ridiculous rig that we can find. Basically, you guys can send us your stuff.
I've seen Saturday Kitchen.
Yeah.
Over like Food Heaven and Food Hell.
Food Heaven and Food Hell. So you guys, if you send us pictures of your rigs, basically upload the pictures to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Guitar Hour, or you can upload them to your own Facebook page and then tag us in the picture. We'll find it that way. We will download all the pictures over the season. Towards the end of the season, probably episode 6, we're going to pick our favourite, and we'll choose a prize for whoever's the favourite is. Laurie Monk's put should have been racks. That's equally hilarious. Show us your big racks. That's genius. So yeah, Gasturbation, guys. You can hashtag Gasturbation if you so desire. It's up to you. Make Dan happy. So you can send us pictures of your rigs. And then the other thing that's going to be super cool, if you've got the ability to record video for yourself, Dave, Mr. Bronze, wrote our fantastic theme tune, which we play at the end of every single episode. And you heard it at the beginning as well on the intro theme. Dave's going to make the track available, the backing track, and we want you to record a solo over the solo section. It's really obvious where the solo section is. It's in the key of E minor. Shred your racks off, and then you can send us the video. And then on the last, did we say the last episode of the season?
Last episode of season 2,
yeah. We're going to incorporate. Sorry, go on, Dave.
No, you go.
We're going to have basically you, whoever the winner is, who plays like the craziest or the most melodic or whatever we decide to do. We might choose note density, we might choose a beautiful melody. We'll probably choose note density, but we'll see.
like
Dan's going to give you a tip.
Where everyone gets an award.
Exactly, yeah. Everyone's a winner,
for
remember.
the season.
We're going to have a video at the end, basically, whereas as opposed to us playing the theme tune, we'll kind of have the beginning bit, and then it'll be your solo and it'll be your video featured on the stream, which is going to be super cool. And then that will be on my YouTube channel permanently for the rest of time, as long as YouTube exists. So, having said that, let's now go to the news. Okay, so the news this week, because we've been away for so long, is basically what we've been up to. Yeah. And I'm looking at Dan, so I'm going to start with Daniel over there. You got some cool stuff, Dan?
Just standard, really. Gigging, really. I missed out on something that you're going to talk about in a minute.
Yep.
Because I was working like a dog.
Yeah.
Have I done anything? Oh, I had a couple of gigs in France. I played a French line dancing association gig.
Wow.
Doing a swing thing in
Yeehaw.
Take that off the bucket list.
Where's your keyboard?
yeah.
Ah, it's here.
Sounds like a Frank Zappa song, doesn't it? French line dancing association. Yeah, that was good. It was in the van for 60 hours altogether in the weekend.
Man.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's probably the most exciting thing I've done.
Okay, well, feel free to pass the baton on when you've given your news.
Ever closer to the NGD, but we'll
Oh yeah.
we'll talk about that. Hopefully, I would say definitely before the end of the season. I should imagine.
I've got some cool news, but I just feel like nobody really cares because what everyone's interested is.
Well, yeah, indeed.
Whoa.
New look.
So, do you
New season.
What's going on? Did you lose a fight with the Dothraki? Oh shit!
Yeah. Well, he walked out of a burning building, still wearing no clothes apparently, but still in one piece. But the beard was gone.
Yeah, so yeah, new season, new look. Except I've already shaved twice and it keeps growing back already. So
Oh,
it just
no.
grows too
Like Homer
quick.
Simpson has just got
Yeah,
fight straight back.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's my physical appearance. Anything?
I know. Yeah, amazing.
Anything else, Dave?
Yeah, so I have something I'm really excited about. I've just launched a podcast called The Bronze Cast.
That is genius.
And basically it's a composition podcast, and I've done 3 already. You can look it up on iTunes, and I'm just talking about composition, the various things involved around it, people that trying to get over the fears of writing music and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to check out the Bronze Cast, you can find it on iTunes or find it on my website as well. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Loads of really cool content. I'm saying that 'cause I'm proper excited about it.
By the way, guys, if you think we're not looking at the camera, we're not, because the camera's over there, and if we look at the camera, we're blinded by the most unbelievably bright LED. We're looking at the screen, so I apologise if we're not looking straight at you. Maybe we should all stare at that light, and then it'd be more polite. But that's why. Okay, sorry, Mr. Beebe.
Yeah, so what sad Dan missed out on this, unfortunately, but we went down to Oxford to see the Jonathan Kreisberg gig.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which the gig in of itself would have been cool enough, road trip and like I see an amazing gig. But the following day we shot an interview with a guy, and that was extremely exciting. So we're in the process of editing that now, and that's going to be hopefully being dropped in the next couple of episodes.
Yeah, he is an incredibly inspirational guy, so that's going to be really cool. Even if you're not into jazz, you should check out the interview, because some of the stuff he says, like we all walked away. Sorry, Dan. We all walked away feeling incredibly inspired, didn't we? It's ridiculous. So we've got about 50 minutes of footage with him.
Yeah, and it's good content. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, I'm not, as you all know, as the Rock Rabbit, I'm not a jazz guy at all. But I absolutely loved the gig. I thought meeting him was really amazing. I took loads away from it, and I've bought some of his music. So yeah, brilliant.
Okay, so speaking of special guests, so we got the Jonathan Kreisberg thing sorted. That's in the bag. That's
episode 3.
Yeah, you're going to see that interview. We won't put the whole thing on the Guitar Hour, the live show, because it's 50 minutes long. So we'll give you snippets of it. The snippets, but the whole thing will be going on my YouTube channel and possibly on Facebook. I think we can fit it on Facebook. We need to make sure it's under 1 gigabyte, which is not going to be that difficult to do, except for the fact that it's in 4K. But seeing as Facebook doesn't support 4K anymore, we'll render it down at resolution where we can fit it on. So you guys can watch that whole interview. So that's going to be cool. But that will be going on later, the full thing. BB and I have to edit the whole thing down, and then we have to make sure that Jonathan's happy with it, which he will be, because it's a super cool interview. Now, speaking of special guests, the other thing that's happening next weekend, correct, is My good friend Dave Weiner is coming to town with none other than the amazing Steve Vai, and obviously they're doing the Passion and Warfare. The Passion and Warfare. That was necessary. The Passion and Warfare anniversary tour, which I mean, this like in this room there is significant. No, not significant. Uncontrollable excitement. Even though it doesn't look like it, there's uncontrollable excitement, especially from him for this. Now we're going to go and join Dave. We're going to do a rig rundown with Dave, do an interview with Dave, and possibly, if we can get a hold of Steve on the day, it's very difficult because he's very busy. We're going to do our best to get a hold of Steve as well. I shouldn't call him Steve, Mr. Vi.
Mr. Vi, yeah.
Mr. Vi. Yeah, we're going to try and get hold of him and do some stuff. We definitely got Dave. We'll probably do a little bit of jamming as well. Shoot that. Depends how much time Dave's got. But yeah, you guys are going to get sort of first-hand footage of that tour, Dave's gear, all that kind of stuff.
Which town?
Oh, now there was one other thing as well. It's going to be, we're going to the Manchester show, aren't we? Where is the gig? Can you guys remember?
The
Ritz.
The Ritz.
I
think it's the Ritz.
Now, we are going to be around before the show in Manchester. I don't know where we're going to be yet, but we will, because we'll have concluded the interview obviously by that time with Dave, and Dave will be doing his thing. If any of you want to come and hook up and have a beer with us, a Guitar Hour beer before the show.
Yeah.
Guitar Hour Social.
We'll talk about the beer in a second.
tour.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a beer with us before the show in Manchester. If you're going to be at that gig, or you're just, I don't know, for some reason happen to be in Manchester that day, and if you are, why are you not going to the Vi gig? What's the date, guys? Can you remember?
5th of June.
The 5th of June, which is a Sunday.
Yeah,
so it's next Sunday, basically, a week on Sunday. Come to Manchester. We'll post on Facebook where we're going to be, and you can come and have a beer with us and hang out and
awesome.
have a chat. So that's going to be cool.
Great to meet you guys in the real world.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter Scalinai. I've still got that John Gom interview, and I need to edit it, and it will be coming out. Absolutely, it'll be going on my YouTube channel. It's a really good interview with John Gom. Actually, I just haven't had a chance to edit it, and have been a little bit lazy with other stuff. Not lazy, but just doing other things. So we'll get that sorted for you. Now then, I've got to race through some of this stuff. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about as well. The first is a project that I'm working on called the Elba Triangle. Now we announced this project. It's an album that I'm working on with Marco Sfogli, or Sfogli, I can never pronounce it quite right, and a guy called Alessandro Benvenuti, two incredible guitar players. Alex Argento is playing keys, Vala Vengren, I think is how you pronounce the drummer's name, Virgil Znati's on there a little bit as well, Anton Davidians is playing bass. It's a ridiculous project, it's just incredible. We've been working on this album. There's a crowdfunding project for it on Indiegogo. Now I need to find the page and I'm going to share it in the chat. If you guys want to go on there, Leonardo, you are fantastic. Some of you guys have already checked this out, obviously. We're trying to raise $4,000 to get the album finished. All the drums and bass are done, some of the guitars are done. We're just trying to get everything finished, basically. The first track is done and features me and Marco. It features Virgil Donati, an incredible bass player from Brazil called Junior. Now, I always forget his last name, but check it out. His name is on there. He's just ridiculous, unbelievable. So go and check that out. I'll post the links in the chat in a second when these guys are doing something else, and you can check that out. We need to make that 4,000 or else the album probably won't happen. So we've got about 13 days left. We're just, I think we're approaching $3,000, so we just need $1,000. So you can go on there and check it out and listen to the first track. So that's really important. The other thing is I've just got back from the Guitar Summit, and that was in North Carolina. That was last weekend. Just an incredible experience. If you go to Facebook and type in #Guitar Summit, you will find some unbelievable videos from that weekend. And there's a DVD coming out of that actual concert, the two concerts that were done there. I was playing on one of them. You can check out one of my tracks. I'm going to play the track that I played at the Guitar Summit from my album next week as well on the Guitar Hour. So I'm going to be playing another one of the tracks off my album. So that's kind of cool. Check out the Guitar Summit. I think, guys, that is everything. I need to post that Guitar Summit, the Elba Triangle. Pardon?
Need to mention these?
Yeah, we will mention those in a second. In fact, we'll mention those just before your challenge, if that's all right. The only other thing we need to tell you about is, because this is part of the theme of the Guitar Hour, is the beers we're drinking these weeks.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This is one of the nicest beers I've ever had. This is basically, it's called Ghost Brew. And they're a brewery that are just down the road from here, Ghost Brew. You'll find them online. Incredible beer. I'm drinking the Reaper, which is like a 4.4% pale ale.
Same here.
Drinking the Wraith. This one's for you, Lee.
You got the Phantom. They all sound like Rolls Royces or enemies in Halo.
Right, guys.
Lord of the Rings.
Laurie Monk is telling us that we can't post links in the in the chat. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the Guitar Hour page, and I'll put it again on my Facebook page.
I can't. Straw poll.
The straw poll for the that's another thing I forgot to mention it. Yeah, so if you've never seen the Guitar Hour before, down here, this is our backing track poll, and you guys can vote from 5 different backing tracks you want us to jam over. You can check out the backing tracks from YouTube there as well. Yeah, totally. Yorkshire has all the best beer. Amazing. You can check that out, but you might find that you have to type that in. I know it's a bit of a pain, guys, but Laurie's suggesting that we can't actually copy and paste that into the chat. If anyone wants to try, in fact, I might try it right now and see what it does. I might try it in the chat. So if I've got HTTP, let me just try this. It's probably not going to work because Laurie knows his stuff, especially when it comes to Google and YouTube. Straw poll. Can someone read it out to me?
Yeah.
.me. Yep.
.me/103.
Yep.
Is that 1
One,
5 or
no,
1
164.
Is that definitely a 6?
Yeah.
1649439. Okay. There we go.
Hey.
It worked.
Can you copy it? I think
Maybe only I can post links. Maybe only the moderator can. So
right.
there we go. That worked, guys. So check that out. Go to that host can post. Love it. Nice one, Leonardo. Leonardo's English is coming on like it's unbelievable, and he's even doing rhyming now. Amazing. Nice one, Leonardo. Can't wait till next time we get to play. Okay, guys. Check out that straw poll. Vote on those. Which backing track you'd like us to play over. Nobody influence anything because I know Dave wants to pick one in particular. No one say a word.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move from the news into Dan's challenge. Dan's got a really this is going to be carnage. So you get to hear a little bit playing. Today, by the way, Mr. Bronze is playing one of his tracks from his album, so that's going to be cool. So we're moving to Dan's challenge. Okay, so Dan, describe your challenge to us.
Now,
Uh-oh.
this seemed like a great idea at the time, but I thought about doing charades. You pronounce it charades, right?
Mhm.
Charades is American.
Yeah.
So charades with guitars. So guitars. So what we've done is it's me and Bronze versus Quail and BB, and me and Bronze have written down 10 films, put them in a cup, and passed them to you guys. You've written 10 films, passed them to us, so we don't know what's in this cup. So I'm going to pick one, or Dave's going to pick one, and then you've got to try and convey what that film is to the other guy.
Through the medium of 6 strings.
Yeah, so you can't talk. You can use your guitar, maybe do some kind of miming or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Interpretive dance.
Let's do it. Yeah. So do we want some kind of time limit, or are we just going to see
Just keep
what
an eye on it.
happens?
Just
Like,
keep an eye on it. So
this
who's going to
this
go?
potentially could be horrific. But
Yeah.
We
as
shall
is
see.
As is
We
every
may have to
challenge. abort the mission. Or
Yeah,
what's it now?
exactly.
And we were, as of about like 5 minutes ago, we were still all not quite on the same page as to what the game actually is.
Played a different game about 5 minutes ago.
So the other thing is, it's going to be kind of an interesting. Let me just check this. So we can either play or we can mime.
Yeah, you just can't
With
speak.
the guitar,
You just
though.
can't speak.
Right, so you guys, the cool thing is you guys will be able to play this game as well because there's a little delay in the stream. I'll answer your question on Watch 2004 in a second. There is a little delay in the stream, so before we've given the answer, you'll still have time to kind of guess what it is,
Yeah.
and we'll see if this works.
We've
So
tried
who's
to
gonna
be
go-
kind, like some themes and stuff like that, but you know.
Let me just answer his question. So Watch, this is a Fibonari. They're made in Budapest in Hungary. Let me move my arm and my cup out of the way. Dan's got one as well. They're made by the same guys. This is handmade in Budapest in Hungary. This is a Fibonari Roadmaster FB. Okay, and this is my custom signature one, so the signature is on the 12th fret, which is kind of cool. Dan's is beautiful as well. All right, guys, so who's going to go first?
Oh, let's do it.
You're going first. Oh, no, well, you have to play, I guess.
Yeah, so you've got to guess. I don't know which one's worse.
Okay. So let's see. So remember, the guys, these are films. BB's going to look at the thing, and then he's going to try and play something that tells me what the film is. And I have to guess. This is going to be too difficult. Is it a full-on troll?
Easy.
No.
Easy.
Let me
Oh,
get
God.
sound.
Oh.
I know what it is already. Top Gun. It's Top Gun. I only had to hear this.
Too easy.
It went too light on that one.
I fear that may be an R pile as well. I hope you don't pick it out.
Uh,
Right, which one of you is going to... So hopefully you get the idea, guys. Hopefully you get the idea.
Okay.
Wash, you are correct. Also, it's not a $1,000 guitar. I'm afraid you might need to add a few numbers to that.
Oh,
It's probably a
man.
$3,000 or $4,000 guitar. Uh-oh.
I don't know this one.
Your fan's gone off already, dude.
Yeah, I
man.
know. So early.
If you hear a fan noise, it's because Dave's
Okay.
amp has gone off. Okay.
Rocky?
Yeah.
Yes!
Amazing!
The game works!
Right, so it's my go. My go. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Okay. Don't drop it.
Good job you worked out from that 'cause I couldn't think what the actual
Oh,
theme
you're
tune was.
kidding me! How do you do that?
I can't remember what we wrote down now.
Go on.
I have no idea how you even begin to do that. Like, I don't know what the theme tune is. It's like,
All right. Do you want to pass it on?
I'm going to give that to you. I mean, like, I think what should happen is if you do
You
this.
can't do it, you
Well,
can
no,
do it
you
back.
should
Someone
give it to me, and I should try and. Oh, no, because you.
He's-
No.
yeah, that's a good idea,
Yeah,
Dave.
I have to give it to you, and you have to tell me how you would do it.
I'm not that dumb, I promise.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, right.
Is there a theme that you don't?
Okay, yeah.
What is it?
Hunger Games.
Hey!
Is that the theme?
Yeah, that's the thing from Hunger Games.
So it depends whether you know the theme or not. Okay, right, you'll go. So you're winning.
Do I not win that though? Because I still got
Oh
it.
yeah, you still got it. Yeah.
Oh no, we steal the point.
Oh damn.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, but
surely. Come on, Dan.
Yeah, but
I
It's
still-
arbitrate, eh?
Do I go?
Yeah. Go on.
I've got a feeling there's going to be some horrendous ones in here. Oh! Okay. There's two options about this. Can I either do the,
I really hope that they pull the one out there. Oh, okay.
It's either that or...
exactly.
No! Come on!
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crossroads.
Yes!
Was it Eugene's trick bag that gave it away?
Yeah, yeah.
Crossroads.
This is Steve Vai reference. Yeah, you were playing Karate Kid's lines.
Yeah,
Yeah. if you
And I
go-
play Crossroads.
If you go with, oh yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't get it from
Oh, yeah.
Crossroads.
Hey! They're getting it. Well done, guys.
Tasty
Well
brown
done,
eye.
guys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Ooh, this is yeah. Good one, guys.
Uh-oh.
I need a
What?
tool to do
What?
this.
You need a tool.
A tool?
Ideally, yeah. We don't have all this gear in here, and I don't have
What
the
tool
right
do you need?
tool.
You need Nebo or something.
I can't say because that'll give it away.
Oh.
Is there anything on here?
In fact, can I make a sound with my? Can I vocalize with my mouth?
No.
I can't make
It
sounds.
has to be guitar or it
Oh
has
no,
to be
I
miming.
know why.
Okay.
Oh, go on.
Uh-oh.
Right. It's all right. You'll get it. You'll get it.
Oh, don't say that.
You'll get it.
This is good. This is good play.
Is it Footloose?
I think 70s, man.
Oh, is it Chef?
Hey.
I couldn't know what it was, but
This is
Footloose.
I was trying to get a wild pedal and like
Dance.
Footloose! What out of it? It's Footloose.
Yeah.
I was trying to mime. I should have gone.
To me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. How are we doing for time?
Yeah, we can do maybe
Yeah,
maybe
come on.
one or two more each.
Okay.
Oh, he's doing pretty good there. Nice one, Dave.
Back
Oh,
to the Future. The Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Nice.
that's
Power
impressive because I
of
wouldn't have
the-
chose that one.
I nearly went Karate Kid, but...
I'd have
yeah.
gone.
Oh yeah.
What are you going?
Yeah, that's what I
Uh,
did. Yeah.
Okay, right, yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of options for that one.
Yeah.
All right, so is it my go? It better not be something like the Hunger Games. How was Back to the Future come before Shaft? It was
I
after
don't
it.
know.
Someone's got a big delay. Okay.
It's funny, it just says Footloose, Back to the Future, Shaft.
Again, this is one where you kind of have to know the theme. Who wrote these? Was it you?
Maybe.
You Mr. like super kind of
Movie buff.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is really hard again.
Can we steal?
Oh dear, man.
I think right.
Again, you either know the theme tune or you don't.
Oh, is it 3-2 at the moment?
Hang on a sec.
Come on.
Oh.
Oh.
You can do
Okay,
it.
you have
can
to
do it.
you have to look at what I'm playing on the guitar,
Yeah,
the
okay.
shape of it.
We were in sync earlier, writing
gonna
it
get
down.
really-
Oh. Sixth Sense.
Yes!
And that is why you need to know your fretboard knowledge.
Yes, that was amazing.
Oh!
6 cents.
I rolled that and I was like, that's going to be great because it's got that in the front. And I'm like,
Oh no, put it back in.
That's awesome.
Okay, that rules. I'm sorry.
I think you. That's.
We win. We win. All right, do
Fine.
one more, guys. Do one more.
Last one.
Yep. But we win. That was ridiculous.
That was.
oh wait.
Alright,
your
so
go.
That's
Oh,
3-all
go.
now. This.
It's
That's
alright. I
3-all.
mean, you know.
That's amazing. Well done, man. Well done.
This better not be like proper bullshit.
This is the best
like that.
game ever.
Hang on. Where's it written?
On the, no, the other side. No, the side that's folded in.
It's only going to be one of two places.
Okay. I didn't want to unfold it though. Oh, okay. Alright.
Uh-oh, he's got it.
I think,
He's the master of like.
oh god. I forgot how it goes.
No, me too. I couldn't remember earlier on.
No, quite.
Yeah, that's it. That's it,
Oh,
that's it.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you one that was... So I'll leave it there, but one that was going to be interesting. Tom, that is one thing I don't know is all of the notes on the fretboard. That kind of makes that one a difficult one to do. I know, sorry guys.
Sorry.
When
We got a little overexcited over.
I reckon we've probably
Oh,
just
yeah,
got...
whoa, look, see?
There you go, see?
Oh.
Good.
I'll tell you one that was going to be interesting. Was Silence of the Lambs. How would you have done that? Like that, basically, yeah, exactly. Just don't play it. Did you have any weird ones? Oh, God.
Should we read all the ones we didn't do? Or?
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, well, I put that down.
Were you thinking of Interval
No, we put that one on, but I put the fourth count. I got it wrong.
Oh,
We got Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. I was thinking
What were the
of...
others
No, how's it go? How's it go?
It's in there somewhere.
Oh, right, okay.
My ears aren't working today. Anyway,
No dancing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I could not play. I ain't got it anymore.
Dan, that was a good challenge.
Right then.
Yeah, good job.
Let me just see what else they've got, just in
Yeah.
case.
I mean, to be fair, Silence of the Lambs is the only bitch one.
Yeah.
Pink Panther, that was pretty easy. Top Gun, Close Encounters.
So you've got the Sweeney. Jesus.
Do-do-do.
Iron Man. That would have been easy.
I tried to throw a trick one
Sixth
in.
Sense, which we got. I think we win.
Well, they do actually win. I think it's 4-3.
I know, yeah, but
Oh
still.
man,
But we
it's-
still, I
it's-
think the ingenuity of that, and then
Terminator 2. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Du-du-du-du.
Superman versus Batman.
You could have done Superman and then
And then
Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's Dan's challenge.
Okay, thanks Dan.
We are now going to move into the main theme for today, which is Dave usually introduces the main theme, so I'll introduce it in a second. I'll get him to do it. We will do our transition first, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, make sure you're voting in the backing track poll. Go further up in the chat, you'll find it. What's that?
come with me if you want to shred.
Amazing. Scratch the guitar like I was sipping a Chianti. Amazing. All right, guys. So we'll go into our main theme. Okay, so Dave is going to introduce our main theme for you today.
Alright, as you know, on the Guitar Hour we always have a theme, and this week's theme is staying healthy as a musician. I don't know, do any of you guys remember, do any of you guys remember Rock Discipline DVD by John Petrucci?
Oh, with all the
I
first
remember,
15 minutes
I
is
remember getting that
shit.
DVD when I was a kid, right? And then he starts up, John Petrucci's like going like this, doing all these stretches I can no longer
doing
do.
yoga.
And doing all these things, and I just remember thinking, man, like, this isn't like the Paul Gilbert DVD. What's
Nope.
he doing yoga on the front?
And also, there's no fighting dinosaurs or cooking in the
Yeah.
lab.
Pulling rabbits out of guitars.
Far too serious.
And so I was like, this, what a waste of time that was. And it's funny, like, however many years, it's 20 years down the road.
Sorry,
20
guys, the
years
chat's
down the-
hilarious.
20 years down the road, like, I've picked up we've all picked up injuries. So the one that I've got at the moment is I've basically, and from sitting like this, so you know when you're teaching, playing guitar, if I'm composing at home, I've got my keyboard there, and then I've got my computer keyboard, and I've got my mouse. By the time you're sort of leaning over and you're stretching over the
No,
thing,
he's right, yeah.
you're pulling all the muscles in your back and stuff.
Sorry.
That's amazing.
Ryan Simmons, you're a genius.
Ryan, that's incredible.
Oh, images and yoga.
PG
Right.
wins. Anyway, so basically I've got 2 worn discs, and apparently this is quite a common problem with guitar players, that they get strained down one side of the back.
Right.
And so if you
From wearing a guitar, or
just from really bad posture,
feels,
like
you know.
leaning over, like stretching one leg over the other is a really bad thing as well for your
Right.
back. So I've got 2 quite severely worn discs now, and a few months ago I couldn't walk. Basically, I woke up one morning, I literally couldn't walk, no reason. So I went to the hospital and stuff, and they said the famous words, "Well, at your age, this is to be expected now."
oh, what?
Amazing. But so what I've been doing is to stay healthy. Every morning I do push-ups, press-ups, pull-ups, and basically strengthen the muscles in my back. And I run 3 times a week in the morning. I just do a quick run, half an hour. And I've found already that like I've just had no more back problems just from doing a bit of exercise. So I suppose.
How do you find the exercise for things like the mind and like creativity and stuff? Do you find that it kind of opens you up as well?
Oh man,
as
well
the
what I
physical
do,
thing?
especially on the run, so what I do, I've got this pull-up bar thing, so I just literally do 5 minutes dead quick every morning, but then on my run I listen to podcasts, and I run first, then get home, I get a shower, and then write music in the morning. So I find it amazing doing exercise in the morning. So it's had like knock-on benefits for sort of physical health, mental health, and creativity as well.
Mhm.
So, and it's just a really tiny routine change. So it's only half an hour run, and the exercise every morning only take 5 minutes. So if you guys are getting back problems, that would be something I definitely suggest having a look at.
I've got to agree with him because so, I don't know if some of you guys might know this. Probably 2011, 2012. These comments are hilarious. 6 degrees of inner thigh burn.
Having the screen, having the screen is a bad idea.
Poor old John Petrucci. This is terrible. Constant repetitive motion. Right, I've got to stop reading that now.
You guys are amazing.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so a few years ago, sort of 2011, 2012, I had major problems with my neck. And these 2 fingers, my 3rd and 4th fingers, really, they didn't stop working, but lost most of the control that I used to have with them due to the problems with my neck. And it also gave me majorly bad headaches, just problems sleeping. My legs would twitch as well, which wasn't good, just because of damaging the vertebrae in my neck. I went to see a physiotherapist. The first thing she said to me was, "Bring your guitar," and I brought my guitar, and she said, "You need to stop playing." Useless advice. And what helped me a great deal in terms of sorting that out was doing, I didn't do what you did exercise-wise, but starting to do things like, I used a thing called P90X.
Oh, yeah,
I don't do it anymore. I should do. I instead now drink beer again. But doing P90X, doing yoga as well. I think Laurie Monk mentioned Pilates. Anything like that, basically, where you stretch is really good. And since doing that for a while, that actually stopped all of my issues completely. And I still have terrible posture, but it seemed to sort me out. I think I'd reached a point where things had just got really, really bad. And it really affected my playing. You'll find, if you go back on my YouTube channel, actually, videos where I'm stating that, I'm sorry, but I can't really play
I've seen
properly.
one where it's like, this is as long as I can play.
Yeah.
No, it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was terrible. And I still don't have the same level of control in these 2 fingers that I did before that happened. So the reason I'm telling you that is that you really need to look after your posture. We'll get on to other things like ears and stuff in a minute, but your posture is super important. And like if you watch, like a few people have mentioned Rick Graham recently, and obviously the thing that Rick's known for is going from being big to buff. But the other thing that you don't know about Rick is that, or you probably do know if you've watched the videos, Rick sits in a really good position all the time. He was brought up as a classical player, and he sits in this position all the time.
Everything about
regardless
his
of how
technique
it
is
looks,
just
you know,
fucking-
regardless of how cool it is, he sits in a really good position. His back's always really straight. Rick's obviously really into his health now and has been for a while. I can't recommend it enough. I've got students who come and sit down with footstools and stuff. Super important to look after your back, and don't forget your neck. Another thing that, like Dave kind of mentioned this, and I'm really bad for this. When I sit down, I'm looking now at a giant 50-inch 4K screen, and I spend my time doing this as I'm looking around the screen. If I were you, I would make sure you sat a decent distance away from your screen. Don't do what I do, and make sure that your screen is not too big. Obviously, you've got to look after your eyes as well, so don't spend too much time in front of it. But don't sit with your neck in this position, because you'd be surprised how easily you can damage the vertebrae in your neck. And if you damage them too much, you'll do what I've done and do permanent damage, and it's really, really bad news for your left and right hand technique. And once you've done it, that's it. There's very little you can do to actually fix it. So, yeah, that would be my advice in terms of just watch your posture and your seat, and invest in some good furniture that is going to be useful for you. Another thing you might want to try. I have a student. Oh, he's not really a student anymore. A friend of mine, really, a great player called Daniel Serif. And he practices and does all of his work in his studio stood up. So he has a desk that basically you can lift up. And you find this in offices a lot these days. Really contemporary
I've got
offices.
one of the skills. It's just
Oh,
like
have Yeah, so you can lift the desk up for when you want to stand up. And a lot of, if you look at a lot of office workers these days, they spend a huge amount of their time stood up instead of sat down. It's really, really good for you, basically. People are mentioning things like, Justin's mentioning the Alexander technique. That's really good. He went from meatloaf to... I shouldn't have read that out. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that, but
I mean, I can say agree to all that. I mean, I about 6 years ago I started working out. I mean, I'm currently on and off period, but yeah, and it really helped with giving some time away from playing guitar and something that's almost like meditative.
I've just started. I was talking to you about it. It's more.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about getting hench. As this is it. It's more, to be honest, more for me now. It's like obviously it kind of levels your headspace out because you're doing something physical. But it's more like a social thing as well because I go with a group to the point where there's like a WhatsApp group.
do you do like a big high
called
five?
the hench hogs. Oh,
I don't think I want to hear the end of this story.
It's just hench hogs.
Oh, more forest animals.
So it's just more forest animals. If there's anyone in the chat that can do illustration or animation, us four as animals.
So yeah,
Hilarious.
Or even just an illustration,
So
just
that's
a picture.
our
That would
own
be fine.
t-shirt.
it's the fusion ferret, the jazz badger, the rock rabbit, and the. Which one do you want to go with, Dan?
I
Which
think I'll go with swing squirrel. 'cause
Swing
weasel.
squirrel.
Boring.
I hear him squirrel.
If you would
Weasel.
prefer to make him the Western Weasel,
Well,
we're
there's
okay.
was it IR Weasel? Or is it IR Baboon?
IR
Weasel.
Weasel and the baboon is in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I feel like
We're
getting
really,
off
really
topic.
getting on top of you.
Anyway, the other
Okay,
yeah.
right, let's bring it back.
Jim, good
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, so
The only issue I've had is having issues with monitors on stage where you can't quite hear yourself, so it feels different, and then you end up overplaying, and you come off and your forearms from just squeezing on notes and playing too hard or picking too hard. It's just I've had points where that's lasted for about 3 days, but
this is it.
Yeah.
And obviously people are very quick to go, well, you got bad technique then, but.
Yeah, like Dave was saying, tinnitus, this is a really important point. I'm actually around 50% deaf, not deaf, less hearing in my right ear than my left ear, because when I was a teenager, my parents lived on a small, it's called a small holding, which is like a small farm. We didn't have a farm, but it was the land and stuff, and they had a barn, and I used to have a Marshall, like a 50-watt Marshall valve state, which is still a loud amplifier, and I used to put it in the barn and crank it all the way up and
Back
play
to the
it.
Future.
Sat to my right ear. Yeah. Sat to my right ear all the time, and now if I hold a phone to that ear, or if I'm mixing with headphones on, I can't basically because I'm now lost a huge amount of hearing in this ear. And again, once it's gone, it's gone. And Dave was going to bring, he didn't remember, but you can use these as a substitute. There's a company called ACS Custom, and these are actually in-ear monitors. But ACS are great. They're based in the UK, but they do stuff all over the world. They make these moulded, yours are ear plugs,
These the
basically.
guys
mine
that
is-
sit you down in that throne and
Then
Yeah,
stick a load
yeah.
of stuff in your ear.
No,
Yeah.
they don't do it that way. They do it with the ultrasound now.
Oh, they do. That's right. Yeah, we saw
Ultrasound.
it at the guitar show, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's much more comfortable.
So I'm really interested in these because they're actual monitors and they don't just cut the sound.
These are
They
monitors.
come with a pack that has a mic in that picks up the ambient sound. Is
Maybe
that
let's
right?
just switch those off briefly so we don't.
So with
Okay.
the monitors, does that attenuate the volume as well? Like
I see.
the outside sounds?
Yes, so it attenuates these ones particularly, these in-ear monitors have microphones on. So what you can do is obviously normally what would happen is if you put in-ear monitors in, or if you put ear plugs in, you would lose a huge amount of the audio frequency and volume, which is the idea obviously. But the downside is, if you're using in-ear monitors, you lose the ambience of the stage sound. So a lot of the times what guys will do is they'll mix in stage mics around the stage to give you that ambient sound, whereas these have little mics built into them, really high quality mics. And actually it's just fun to sit down and stick them in your ears and listen to them, because it's like you've got Superman hearing. It's ridiculous because the mic is here. It's crazy, but they're really good. So you can bring back in the ambient audio. Now I actually use them, or should use them more. I don't do it as much as I should when I go to trade shows or when I do things that are really loud, because you can, if you've ever been to a trade show, you'll know that there's like 50,000 people all trying to play like an A major 6-string sweep arpeggio at the same time, and all the bass players are trying to slap like some ridiculous stuff. So you're surrounded. So if you stick these in your ears, you can actually control the amount of volume that you're getting from the ambient audio around you, which is super cool. And then if you're playing, you can run like for me, if I use the Axe Effects, you can run the Axe Effects and you can run your backing tracks into these as well. So that's super cool. So they're made by ACS Custom, and if you just go to acscustom.com, you'll find all the info on there. It's not a plug particularly, but you know, I bought these, but you did the same. But they do make really good stuff. So that's another thing. Anything else? Like, what have we got on the list, guys? Have we got anything else that's worth?
Final ones is life on the road, food, sleep,
Yeah.
mental well-being. But we need to crack on, don't we? 'Cause
We do really, yeah.
yeah.
Really quickly to round that up, it's really difficult if you guys have ever been on the road or if you've ever toured anywhere. It's really difficult to eat properly, but you know, it's obvious.
60-hour van trip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just, you know, look.
Just getting into bad habits with like late gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's like coming in. I mean, you know, you'll know this as well. Like getting in at 2, 3 routinely, and then like snacking on rubbish or.
Trail mix
Yeah.
is the answer. When I went on tour,
It's easy to
I
get
bought
to
loads
that.
of those bags of trail mix, which is like nuts and raisins and stuff, and just keeping going because you just never know when
Is
you're
that
going
like
to eat.
non-spicy Bondo mix?
No, I think it's yeah,
It's bird food for humans.
Bird food for humans.
Bird food for
Anyway,
humans.
trail mix.
Yeah.
Bird
Cool.
food for forest animals. All right, guys. Yeah, Chris, you're right. It's almost impossible to get a good meal on tour, but you've got to try because otherwise you'll feel like crap all the time.
Yeah.
And we all know what that feels like when you're away on tour and just feel awful all the time trying to find good food. All right, guys. So that was our main theme. Not the longest main theme in the world, but it's kind of an important point. So really, all we're saying is make sure you look after yourselves and make that a priority in terms of everything you do, basically, because your mental health and your physical health will really affect your guitar playing and your musical ability. So what have we got next? I can't remember because I've not got my show notes covered.
Getting a nice performance.
What's on?
Is it the bronze?
It's bronze.
The bronze
We're getting pure, unadulterated.
is going to perform for you. So guys, we'll move to our hands-on section or performance section. So I'm going to let Dave do a quick sound check. I'm going to let Dave introduce this track that he's doing. It's from his album, which is called...
Based on a true story.
You should go and buy it. Dave's... I'm tuned in all fourths today, guys. You should all go and buy Dave's album. It's amazing, compositionally and guitar playing. It's absolutely amazing. Dave is kind of on the next level compositionally than what you'll find on the majority of guitar instrumental albums. It really is.
You get beers that say best served cold. I think your album should be like best enjoyed at the top of a mountain.
Yeah, absolutely.
That quote's going on
With the wind going through your hair. So Dave is going to play a track. I'll let him introduce it, and then we'll do a very quick sound check to make sure he's cool, and then we'll get playing it. So here we go.
Okay, so this song's called Desert Rose. I think this is probably the best guitar instrumental I've ever written, and unlike everything I've played so far on the show, it's just like a kind of acoustic-y type feel to it. So I wrote the first theme, which goes like this. The day Princess Diana died, actually, and then it took me about another 20 years to write the rest. So you'll hear, like, it's really worked out composition.
That doesn't mean it's dedicated to Princess Diana.
No, it
by the way.
doesn't, no. But,
Just
yeah.
so you know.
So yeah, Desert Rose, let's give
Right,
it
give
a
us a shout if you need anything changed, Dave.
Okay.
It should be the same as last time. Yeah, nice.
Sweet.
Steve Ozone, I can definitely imagine this being played over a montage of Diana chasing the corgis around. Beautiful tune.
I wish I'd never said that now.
But I can now as well. I can
Oh,
fully
no.
imagine with like a kind of vignetted, wistful kind of look. I love it.
Actually, the next podcast that I'm putting out on the Bronzecast, I'm going to be talking about this tune because it's actually written. I wrote a few bars each summer, basically out camping sat in a hammock. Usually, just it's one of those tunes that's really hard work to put together. So I hope you enjoyed it anyway.
It's such a bad idea having the chat there.
It's a really bad idea.
Oh dear. So
I was
funny.
just trying to hold it in from that Diana comment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. So,
Any mistakes are just BB's fault.
Yeah.
Laughing.
Yeah,
he's
it's
putting him
Steve Ozone's fault.
it's just like trying to get Tom to lose it each time. It's hilarious, Steve. It's amazing. Keep doing it. It's so good. It's working a treat. Right. So we have a new kind of section. A very short new section here, but it should be quite fun. Dan is like known for coming up with these phrases and puns and stuff, and now I feel like I've really put the pressure on him to come up with one every single week. But this is a phrase that Dan's been using for a while. This is called what are we calling this? We call Dictionary Corner. We are calling it Dictionary Corner. We're going to have every week a word or a phrase that Dan has come up with.
Essentially, writing our own urban dictionary as we go along.
Yeah, the Giturban Dictionary.
Urban dictionary.
So it's kind of similar.
Oh, hang on.
So
It's that way, innit?
I'm going to show you the word. A lot of you guys will be familiar with this word because Dan has been using it for quite a while now. I don't know if that's going to work, dude. We'll try it. Ready? There we go. So this is the word. Explain the word, Dan. Read us out the word and what it means.
This is the originator, really. Hollywood shit. This is just something I just came out randomly and the first time I went to the NAMM show.
Yep.
And I'll read the definition. So I've got pyrotechnic, flashy guitar player designed to impress, often in the most inappropriate of settings. So this is kind of like you sit down to jam with someone and we go, what do you want to do? Right, we'll play a minor blues or something. And then, they'll maybe do some comping first and you sort of try and play the changes or whatever and do some things. And then they just proceed to just bust out the most fiery 8-finger tapping sort of kitchen sink shit possible.
Yeah.
Usually it's just, you know what I'm talking about.
Satchel
All the
licks.
time, yeah.
Justin's got it. Satchel licks. Yeah, it's exactly
Satchel
that.
licks, there
It's
you go.
basically all the stuff that you've been like the fastest, most flashy, most ridiculous thing you know, and it can often be super cool. Like when Tony Martinez does it, it's like whoa,
Yeah, exactly.
that's amazing.
It's
Yeah, it's not
explosions,
derogatory.
laser
No.
beams,
It's just a phrase. It's politically correct, but yeah, man, it's a fun thing that we've basically incorporated into our vocabulary, and that's the idea with this section. We're going to give you some new words that Dan has come up with, or possibly that we've come up with, but it's usually Dan's dictionary. Dan's usually the creative brains behind those things. So we've got a few of them that we're going to kind of divulge to you over the coming weeks, which are fun. So that's Dictionary Corner. So it is time for some playing from all of us. And you guys have hopefully been voting. Well, I know you have because I checked the results a minute ago. You've been voting in the poll jam, which if you've just joined the Guitar and you've never seen it before, the poll jam, basically there's a backing track poll underneath. I posted it in the chat earlier on, Unleash the Fury. Notice I edited that phrase just for the family audience. Results! Okay, we have a decisive winner, which is this progressive rock track, which is kind of cool. Now, part of the reason why I like doing these is because we get to... Oh no, how can I do this without... I'm going to have to go up to the keyboard. Part of the reason why I like doing these is because we get to feature YouTube channels that have cool backing tracks on. And this actually is a really nice... This guy... I'll tell you what his YouTube channel is in a second. Let me Okay, this guy... oh no, this is your one. Have I picked the right... It is your one, yeah? I thought it was a different one. Oh, sorry guys, I've named them wrong, but I actually copied the wrong one in. So it is the E minor, the metal one. No, this is not the one that I wanted to play over. This is going to be terrible. He's going to rule and we're going to suck.
We'll see,
He's going to rule, we're going to drool. This guy, Metal Guitar Stuff, is a really cool. Like he's got quite a few kind of backing tracks on there that you can check out. It's a really cool backing track. You found it last night, didn't you?
I just stumbled across it. Yeah.
Dave's done this on purpose because we always make him play over like funk tracks or like fusion tracks.
Yeah.
And I can't play over this kind of thing, so this is going to be funny. So this is just going to be note density. How long is
the
it?
fury right there, Dan. Dan's like such a closet Malmsteen fan. He's like coming out with all these licks.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like we need loads of gain and stuff. So, what was I going to say? Yeah. So every week, if you've never seen the guitar before, we have 5 different backing tracks. You guys get to choose which one we jam over, and it can be literally almost anything. It's not just fusion and jazz stuff. We've got all sorts of things in there as well.
Country one,
We have Country One, which is kind of cool. You can all check out all the old episodes. The only thing I'll say about this, guys, is it's 3 minutes 32 seconds long, so I'm going to need to rewind it a couple of times probably. So you can take a little bit of an extended thing, or we can trade or whatever. Just play as long as you want. Dave, you have to start though. Because you picked it. Just guys, just check what you've got sound wise. More gain. Yeah, guys, sorry about the monumental hum in this room. Check out that politely tone. That's just gonna like we need uber gain. This is gonna be hilarious. Right, Dave, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Enjoy, guys.
Hit me.
This is gonna be carnage.
Changing rooms for the bigger boys.
Okay, that needs to happen one more
yes.
time.
Oh,
Dave, take a short one at the beginning again.
okay.
Oh, Dave, that's amazing.
Incredible behaviour.
Flute metal. Oh, go on, Dave.
I think we can all agree that was the most awesome session of all the guitar out jam sessions.
Yes, I agree.
It
was ridiculous.
Finally, shit makes me
Get
sweat.
to unleash the bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Amazing,
So,
Dave.
thanks,
Absolutely
guys. You made
amazing.
me very happy.
Where
That's
can I
not
buy
illegal.
the satchel to fit my flute? Amazing. Oh, Dave, that's hilarious. Okay, guys, so you can check out all those backing tracks. Well, that backing track and all the other ones we had in the poll just here using this link, which is in the chat somewhere much further up. So the final thing we have to do is we've got quite a few questions
these
this
as
week.
well.
Oh, yeah, let's do that now. Dan, can you grab one of the packets? In fact, I'll let you do this, Dan, if you want.
Alright, so we've all kindly been sent these Hawk picks from Rob.
Show them the
Picks.
packet.
Oh, the
It's a bit
packet's
easier
here.
to see, isn't it? Like,
See that? It's made with real Hawk, so you know it's good.
yeah, yeah.
Genuine hawk in this.
Genuine Hawk.
That's going to be well out of focus. Oh, no, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
There you
Nice
go.
one, Dave.
So these are, I mean, I got sent some at home as well. These are TB7s, I believe, the small ones, or the big ones TB7s?
I think they're TB4. These are TB6s. The ones that we've got to.
I'm sure I had a 7.
Oh.
I think these little ones are 7s.
They're basically really, really high quality UK made picks.
UK versions of the ones that everybody raves
Yeah, the
about.
ones that everybody raves about, basically. That
See,
you're
that's
very
how
used
well
to
I did
use. No,
that.
that's fine. That's fine. That's good.
UK professional.
So yeah, I mean, and he can make quite a lot of different picks with grips and all sorts of things. So
I think you can
That's
get,
kinda
pretty
cool.
sure you can get your own, if you've got logos and things, you can
you
get
can.
them
That's
etched on
correct.
there,
Yeah,
things
we
like
we
that.
actually have 4 to give away. We're not giving them away today. We are going to give them away probably next time. We've got 4 of them to give away. 4 blue ones, and they are the. They're not the TB7, are they? You said the TB4.
I think it's. Is it that one that we've got?
Yeah.
It's the TB6. then.
TB6, which is like a bigger version of a Jazz 3, basically with grips.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I've got
synthetic
TB7
tortoise
as
shell
well.
material. So they're really, really cool. Really, really nice picks. The ones we've got are beveled as well, which is a little bit more expensive, I think. So they're really cool. They're worth a little bit of money, actually, guys. They're more than your average picks, so they're good prizes. We'll be giving those away at some
Facebook,
point.
Instagram, all that stuff. So Hawk,
Yeah.
Hawk
Sorry, it's
Picks,
me that's making
HAWK.
Okay, does someone want to type that into the chat, maybe?
Yeah.
Do we know the address to type into the chat? All right, guys. So we will go to our quick Q&A section, which is the final section of the Guitar Hour. So, you guys have been posting a few little questions. Little questions. These are big questions. Some of these. So everybody's got a copy of these. I'll read them out, and then we can kind of interject. There's 8 questions, and we are already over an hour, so we're going to go through these fairly quickly, guys. So Miles Glover asks. He's currently working his way through the Rock School guitar grades. This is going to be a controversial one. What is your opinion of the grades as a learning system? Would you be a more rounded player by learning another way, or grades to grade 8 and then some kind of sort of pick a speciality and work on that? I should explain before these guys kind of answer this question, because they're the most experienced with these grades, what they are for our non-UK guys. In the UK, we have a graded system for classical instruments for exams that goes from 1 to 8. And it's been a well-established system for a long, long time with the Associated Board of the World Schools of Music.
Yeah.
Which is basically just one of the big music schools, one of the prestigious music schools in the UK. For electric guitar, they never existed, and a company called Rock School put them together. There's various other ones. There's Yamaha do a very similar thing in the UK called Guitar Encounters, which is superb.
Trinity one.
I used to teach that course.
Trinity
and
RGT, London College of Music. That one.
So, but he specifically asked about Rock School and the grades as a system of learning. Now, you guys both teach these, don't you?
Yeah.
So tell us how you. Well, I don't know whether you actually teach them, but I've taught them. We've all taught them at some point. But tell us how you feel about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really frustrated most of the time as a teacher by using them. Certainly, you don't have to. I mean, I think first of all, to quickly answer your question, it's not going to necessarily hurt. It's all good playing. I think as a system of learning, it's perhaps not the best. It's great for if you want to take an academic route or an academic approach.
The Rock School stuff is good because I teach a couple of GCSE students and they need to perform pieces, and it's really good for that because you can get a piece that has the music written out, it has a backing track, and if you are doing an ensemble piece, say there's a tune that's in a grade 3 bass book, it's also in the grade 3 guitar book, which will be also the grade 3 drum book. So you could get 3 guys that are all working at grade 3 standard to play those pieces together unassisted. So in that scenario, it's great for material.
Yeah.
But if you think you can go from 1 to 8 and then you're going to know, not necessarily know everything, but
you're not going to. Well, you could go through it and actually know very little getting back to grade 8.
Absolutely.
And this is the point with them. Like, the Rock School is very focused on, say, learning the pieces.
Yeah.
They're composed pieces by Rock School. They're not like famous songs.
they're kind of like sort of sound
Based
like,
on something.
like the name, you know, it'll be
it'll be like a funk
like
track,
a show
track,
tune called like Back in Blue or something. I don't even know if that's one.
But then also not equivalent as well. So a grade 8 sort of the sort of difficulty level. I think you probably you'd agree with this. In that, like, the difficulty level of say a Rock School grade 8 would be. I think the level that you have to go into that is not as deep as say with the ABRSM for classical. I know it's different. It's like apples and oranges. But if you take the RGT electric guitar, the level of scale knowledge that you have to have for that one is like insane. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I think the RGT has loads of problems as well. In that,
the one I would really recommend, and I have a lot of experience with it because I taught it for about 4 or 5 years, is the Yamaha one. Now, you're sort of average at-home guitar teacher is not allowed to teach it. You can't buy the books unless you go to a Yamaha music school. The reason I would thoroughly recommend it is because it's probably the best syllabus-based graded system, and you get all the UCAS points, you get all the stuff for going to university. It counts as, this is for the UK guys obviously, although the same thing is cropping up in Canada and in India and in parts of Europe as well now. It's called Guitar Encounters. Starts off super basic, but immediately from day one you're reading notation. That's a big plus. The second massive plus is the theory side of things is applied theory, and you will come out, say for instance the grade 8, you have to be able to improvise over pretty full-on jazz standards like Spain and All Things You Are. Yngwie Malmsteen tunes, For the Love of God is in there. Actual tunes that you would have as part of your repertoire, not made-up tunes by somebody else, although there are some of those as well. But the syllabus is fantastic, and the teaching, all of their teachers have to be vetted and examined every year. So the tuition side of things is really good. Rock School, I mean personally from my point of view, I think Rock School and RGT are really lacking in a lot of things.
RGT is not too bad actually.
Oh, is it?
I think it is.
No,
I'm sorry, I'm going to fight about this, but there's some stuff in there that's actually wrong though. Like,
Oh, right,
This is what I mean. Yeah.
This is
Okay.
like, I mean, it's. I did RGT. I'm not saying like I actually did it, you know. And,
I have done it as
and
well.
I think you did as well. And at the time, I didn't realise I was just learning this stuff. But you know, and you look at like some of the chord vocabulary and the stuff they're asking you to do. Like it's just
I think, to be fair,
frustrating.
there's some stuff that I love about. So I love rock school as a teacher because it makes my job super easy. I get somebody in, you start on debut grade, you go through. If they show real flair, then I do stuff like pieces in the style. So we get a grade 5. There's an AC/DCS. We'll learn.
That's
some
what you were
stuff.
talking about.
Yeah,
So you build on
Yeah.
it, but there's some kids that aren't that passionate about music that just come in and they just literally want to do the grade. I'm like, fine, if that's what you want, but if your sole aim is to just get to grade 8, just another piece of the exam, you know, there's not much worth in that. I say, but it's like with all the things, down to the teacher. If you have a good teacher, he's not just going to say, "Oh, learn the pieces and that's it."
Yeah,
I think
Well, this is it. So if you've got a good teacher,
It's
you're
pairing
fine.
yeah.
it with someone that says,
Yeah.
this is what it says in the book, but what you really need to know is this as well. That's, you know what I mean? That's
So
kind of my
really,
take
I
on
mean,
it.
like, they're great if you've got a good teacher. They are very useful for getting points to get into university, but standalone things are like great. But
yeah. If you want to go to music college as well, I guess that's
Yeah,
If you're going to teach, it helps to have the grade 8 as well.
yeah.
Okay, guys, we need to move on to
Yeah.
8 questions. Jason Dreyer asks, I'm very routine oriented and an early riser, so my morning routine of breakfast, shower and coffee seems to get me into the state of mind where I can fully focus on music. I find it more difficult to start seriously practicing without doing these things prior. Do you guys have any tricks you use to get into that mind space that allows you to block everything out and fully focus on musical studies? Any tricks, guys? You go on your run, don't you?
I go on my run, half an hour, get in the shower, ready to go. Yeah.
I think having a place to be and do it is like, because I'm suffering at the minute of everything happens in the same room, and it's kind of like you've got all your distractions there. It's kind of like if you have like a little office space somewhere, or even if you just set up in a different room than you normally are the whole time. It's like, right, I'm going to this place, this space, this is what I'm doing, and it's just there's something about a slightly different mindset to doing something somewhere, like when you went to the cabin and wrote all the tunes and stuff.
Yeah, that was a different thing, but it's the same process, I guess. I mean, I don't really have any tricks. I've never had a problem with sitting down and doing. I have a problem if I need to do some, I don't know, like load the dishwasher or something stupid. You know, that is harder. Doing this has never been difficult for me.
Leave
ever.
my mobile phone in the house. That's what I do. So
Okay, that's a great one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've done a whole show in the last season about. Sorry, Dave. A whole show in the last season about social media and switching off the internet and switching off your phone. So that's a different thing, but
Yeah.
it's related. You got anything you do?
Sort of. Well, in fact, I had slightly the opposite in terms of using those things to procrastinate from playing.
Okay, yeah. That
So
makes sense.
I
That's the
find
opposite.
like I go and make sure that all the house is clean and tidy before I go and practice or something, or not practice but like work on stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Which
number
is
3.
crazy.
Sorry, I
No.
totally interrupted there. Number 3, Chris Brown. What aims do the 4 of you work towards when practicing improvisation, irrespective of style? Backing track related improv and also for more free form improv I've seen Tom do. I think by free form you mean just sitting down with the guitar and improvising a piece of music or something, you know, without any kind of backing track. Maybe I'll go first, and then we'll go round. Just to say what you sort of think about when you're, you know, what you're working towards. For me, I'm working towards being creatively free. So, for me, I'm like a harmony and fretboard nerd, and I'm trying to be able to create interesting vocabulary all the time. Like recently, like I've just shown these guys, I've been working on these. You might have seen a video on Facebook that went up the other day. These kind of those kind of lines. I'm trying to find new vocabulary every time I sit down, basically, and be able to manipulate the fretboard in more and more interesting ways. So that's kind of what I work on, regardless of genre and style. Although I tend to not play too many different genres.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm somewhat similar, although it's in the sort of like it's fretboard knowledge and harmony and that stuff. That's what I'm into at the moment. I suppose, like backing track related improv and yeah, so backing track stuff. I tend to use like play-alongs more in the jazz kind
Like
of
Ariel
thing,
and stuff like
Ariel or Abersolds and stuff. Or just take a tonality or a scale or harmonic area and just try and explore that, just free form.
You're going in
out
there
of
with a
time.
purpose, like
Yeah,
sort of
so just taking, if I wanted to take scale and I don't know, like Lydian dominance and just worry about time or anything. Just try to really focus on the sound of it and making sure I can see that across the neck in as many different places as possible.
It's very similar to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar to me.
Probably where I go for.
I don't worry too. When I'm doing the freeform thing, I'm not worrying about kind of rhythmic based information. I'm doing very similar to what he's doing. I'm just exploring. Like I'll take the same thing he just did. And, seeing if I can find.
I think one thing you've been talking to me about recently is like finding new pathways through it, things that are not the same, and I guess that's really key because you do start to find, even though you're improvising, and I do feel like I'm improvising, similar things will come out by nature of just muscle memory.
Yeah.
And I think that having that new pathways is cool.
I'm very intrigued in your sense because you don't,
Yeah.
you're not so obsessed with visualization and harmony.
No,
You are
yeah.
for different reasons, but not from an improvisation perspective.
Well, the interesting is picking the backing tracks for this week's jam is the first time I've ever been on YouTube and tried to jam over everything.
Oh, there you go.
It's not something I really ever do. So what I do is I come up with a musical idea and then I'll write a backing track for it, and then I'll try and improvise or come up with a different little idea or approach to playing guitar. So the thing I'm really into is something different kind of sounds.
Do you improvise? So your sort of improvisational thing is almost more of a compositional thing of finding keepers, like you'll play around with ideas and then keep things.
Yeah, or so.
Or are you probably more open to that than?
So what I might take, so I might hear a phrase on a Nolan pipe or something like that, and then try and adapt it. Or I might like that idea that I do, like that, like it's kind of a texture thing almost.
Right.
So. So if I wanted to practice Lydian dominant, for example, I would try and figure out how I could turn it into a piece. So
Okay.
my focus is really not becoming great at jamming, but trying to get something that I'm going to keep.
That's cool. Dan, you have anything to add? Or are you very similar to us?
Well, I would maybe, without sounding like a dick, probably say I end up playing more styles
Yeah.
than the candidates in the room.
Possibly, yeah, very
Yeah,
probably.
your lick vocabulary is insane. Like the different styles you can do.
Well, this is the thing: is it's the lick thing. It's not necessarily like I've got a load of licks that I've memorised in different styles. It's more because I was actually thinking about this on the way here because I don't sort of transcribe enough, and I was thinking it'd be really good to get that sort of intimate with the fretboard that you can hear something and you know where it is, and you can obviously do that in certain places if you play lots of styles, but or play certain genre. Like if you want to listen to, say, Iron Maiden, after a while you kind of hear where things are and you go, that's probably in A minor, it's probably there, that kind of sounds like that. You can see it straight away. But other things, it's like, oh right, I can hear that, I know what's going on harmonically, I know what's going on, and then try and figure it out where it is. And it's more trying to do that, sort of knowing what somebody's going for and going like for a style. It's like, right, they're probably going to do this, it's probably going to sound like this tone wise, technique wise it's going to sound like this, and these are roughly the notes they're going to use, and then being able to have an idea going in and be able to just hear it and try and do it that way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I'd also do the exploration thing. I was doing that before I Skyped you the other week.
Okay. Right, we'll try and keep these a little bit shorter now. Sorry, guys. Kevius Lau, it's a cool name. How do you develop different comping systems with different groups, say a trio versus a quartet, or do you just use a modified version of one system? I personally have multiple systems for comping that totally depends on what's happening and how much space there is. So if I was playing all the things you are, for instance, in a trio, I would play probably a lot more dense kind of voicings, but I would play against the melody. So if you had, whereas if I was playing with so there I'm thinking kind of bigger voicings.
So by a trio, you're taking the melody as well.
I'm taking the melody and the harmony.
Right.
And if I was comping through that, say in a quartet, I would play much smaller voicings and much more rhythmically. So I might play. So on and so forth. So it might be a little bit more kind of involved with the quartet because there's a guy taking the higher line. But all of that is based around one of two things. either stock shapes that I've learned years and years ago. So I have shapes for everything: an F minor 9, B flat 13, an E flat major 7. These are all stock shapes that I use. Or I'm thinking much more intervallically, so I might play the same thing like this. Can you play me an F? Followed by maybe. So that'll be a 2-5-1 in the key of in the key of E flat. So. And there, when I'm comping, I'm thinking more in terms of visualizing intervals against the chord. So that's a more textural approach, basically. So those would be the two systems I use. But fundamentally, you've got to have good fretboard knowledge. And I would start by playing thirds and sevenths. Add one extra note on top. And then just gradually build on top of that intervallically, so you know what's going on. You'll build up a catalogue of shapes and a catalogue of kind of intervallic ideas. So, Greg Rappaport, good etiquette on gigs and sessions, what you should and shouldn't do. This is quite a big question. Dealing with bandmates, etc. I'm sure there's some good comedic fodder here somewhere. Okay, I'll go and then you guys can go as well. I would say, you know, whenever it depends, and I'm stealing this totally from what some of the guys said the other day when I was at the Guitar Summit. It depends on two things. Are you getting paid, or are you not getting paid? If you're getting paid to do something, you just do what you're asked for. You always have exceptional etiquette because you want to get booked again. If you're not getting paid and you know the guys, again, two scenarios arise. Do you want to work with them again, or do you not like working with them? And if you want to work with them again, always be really easy to work with, always have good etiquette. If you don't want to work with them
thing
again,
is if you're going to learn anything from
doesn't
the gig
matter.
as well, like
yeah,
if it's a gig where you played the same material, you know, 1,000 times, and you're not really going to take anything away, that's less motivation to do it again. But if it's a gig where you're not getting paid, but it might be like a reading gig that you want to work on or something like that, you know, it's a different scenario again.
anything you guys want to add?
No, man, I think.
I think
Michael,
it's it was Lewis. I can't remember which one's which. There's two on Facebook. They did like these little 1 minute tip videos, and it was like the number 10. Don't be a dick. It's like
simple as.
if there's two guys, one's really good and he's a dick, and one can do the job and he's not a dick, you're gonna book the guy that's not a dick.
Gary, yes, we're all using the Polytune clip.
I'm not.
Oh no. No,
'Cause I'm
we just
rebel.
they're great, we just bought them. So Michael Norris asked a question which I think is probably going to turn into a show in itself. Good to see you guys back. Really enjoyed the last series. My question: how do you deal with your inner critic? Over the years, I've often come up with an idea I think I really like, and then I sleep on it and wake up the following day and I think it sucks. How do you get past being overly self-critical? We're going to turn that into a show, I think, later in the season.
Podcast.
Or watch day. Yeah, exactly. That is a
Been in the
huge
kitchen
topic
2 hours
that
ago.
we all deal with on a daily basis. And I know from knowing these guys really well that we all deal with that on a daily basis, myself included. So we will make that into a show for you, Michael. Daram Akrabawi, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. 2 questions. Well, how very dare he? 1, how do you find the balance between confidence in how good you are now and being humble towards learning and growing more as a musician, while also expressing your opinion on the self-deprecation as a means of appearing humble? I mean, for this, I would say basically. Just always be willing to learn and always be a student. Always be a student.
Never have an absolute answer for anything.
No.
That is my
In life.
pretty much my thing for life. Never go,
Always be
this is the
skeptical.
answer. Because people will
Exactly.
just come and go, oh, I think you'll find.
So I think we agree on that one.
I think it's the differences between being arrogant and being self-confident, because there's false humility. I think being confident is knowing who you are, what you're good at and what you're not good at, and being arrogant is where you just like thinking you're better than someone else.
This
So you
is
can
it.
be really confident in what you're good at, but not use that as a way of looking down on others. I think that's the difference.
If you're really, really good at something, you don't need to tell other people. Other people will tell other people. You know, the word will be passed around anyway.
Experts
You do
don't
not
advertise.
need You do not need to go around telling people how great you are at things, because no one's going to appreciate that. And then the second one, because I think we all agree on the first one. What is a positive habit as a guitar player that has stayed with you ever since you started playing? Ooh, that is. I've never heard anyone ask that before.
Always catch someone doing something right. That's my one. If you can think of
Always
something,
catch them.
Well, no, I mean, say if you're in a situation and somebody does something, always be on the lookout to say how you can be encouraging.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
Because then you find yourself being more positive and they feel more positive. I think that's a good habit.
God, I can't think of one. That's really difficult.
I think always having your sort of ears and attitude open to any kind of musical job or any kind of style of music, which is why I've ended up knowing all these little things of like different styles, because it's too easy to go, I only play this style of music, everything else is shit, and then, you know, if you want to work, you can't really do that.
Be in tune.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a good one.
Okay, Christopher Bedwood. This is the final question, guys, so hopefully you're not too bored with these questions. We got loads this week, way more than we normally get. It's probably because it's the first one of the new season. Christopher Bedwood, do you guys find your fretboard visualization changes on the fly in any given situation? For example, I often find I'm using an intervallic approach for shorter and often slower ideas, but the moment I let the hair loose, I'm back. I would like to see that. Christopher, that sounds interesting. I'm back to a scale and arpeggio-based approach. Does the gap between the two have a bridge?
That's a good one.
Not for me.
For me, okay. The only way I can do this is to demonstrate. Okay, if I'm playing the legato stuff, then I am possibly using a slightly different system, but it's morphed into the same system. So this hopefully answers your question. If I'm playing, does someone give me an A Dorian groove? It's just like,
It's gotta be
like a
done.
funk thing or whatever.
It's gotta be done.
My hands are fine.
So you've got that, and I'm playing a melody. I always think intervallically, so I might grab the 13. That allows me, if I'm going to play something chromatic, to approach certain notes. So when I'm doing that, I know what all the intervals I'm playing. If I do this. Obviously, I'm not thinking so much intervallically. I've practiced all my 3-1-3-1, pentatonics, or my chromatic legato thing, or whatever, and then that comes out as a separate thing, and then it's straight. But if you stopped me at any point, I would know where I was, and I can target certain notes. So for me, it kind of morphs into one thing. But it's interesting passing that question on to ask you guys whether, because I know you two think very similar to the way I do. Do you find it's two different things?
I'm probably more. If I'm playing something that's maybe a little bit more constant, because I'm trying to get into this sort of like bebop sort of maybe not necessarily vocabulary, because I'm not really sitting there transcribing as such, but the whole idea of chromatic passing notes and landing in certain places like strong beats and things like that, getting into that kind of chromatic awareness. So I'm more thinking about the destination.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm kind of here, and then I'm thinking passing out, and then it's more of a shape to land, to land in a certain place. But at the same time, if you stop me, I'd say right, well it's that,
Yes.
This is what I possibly think that, because you're right. If someone stops you, you can tell them. But you must be to sort of link that to what Dan's saying. This is where I think it's not quite as simple as maybe what you said, because even with the fast legato stuff, you are still able to approach and land in the right place. So there must be, even if it's not the front of your mind, it must be going on at the back subconsciously from doing it very slow.
But the intervallic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it switches. I'm saying it morphs into. It doesn't morph. It's two things that have come together
same.
to make one thing.
Right, okay. Because I think what Christopher's sort of saying is maybe he can do that slow, where he's conscious of the intervals, but when it's quick, it's like here's a pre-prepared
It's a
scale
shell,
shape.
get an autopilot kind of
Correct.
thing.
I mean, I don't want to
Okay,
put words
I
in your
see
mouth,
what you're
Christopher,
saying.
but I think that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know exactly what you're saying. So to maybe help you break out of that a little bit, I will practice for a huge amount of my practice, and this kind of related to maybe what we were talking about earlier on in terms of improvisation, in terms of vocabulary. I will practice the slow side of things, but I'll practice it as if I was playing longer, faster lines. So I might sit and improvise just legato using exactly the same technique that I would use if I was going to play the fast legato lines, but improvise lines. No time, nothing, just like. But the point here here is that I'm in control of the line direction and the intervals I'm picking, whereas if I was playing faster, there might be more muscle memory. So effectively, I'm giving myself more options when the time comes to actually improvise. So when it's this, when it's the faster stuff, I've got the ability to kind of, shape the line the way I want it to be shaped. Gives you more options. So it's practicing very slowly, creating those lines, basically.
Mm.
So the slow thought process morphs into the fast. It's the same thing but fast, as opposed to it being two distinct things where you can only see.
Yeah. So it's like I think it's still going on, but you've just kind of like pushed that process to the back of your mind.
Maybe,
the
yeah.
Back of, like it's where you you don't. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but yeah. For me, I don't notice that there's two things that I have going on at this. There's like a switch that changes to another visualization system. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so the final thing we've got to do. We've done all the questions. Is quick pick of the week, and I think we've only got 2 this week. We've got, unless Dave can think of something really quick.
Yeah.
I think the challenge next week, I'm going to do, let me ask you a question. So you'll have to pick a guitar player that you want to answer 5 questions on, and I'm
Okay.
going to write the 5 questions.
Okay.
Right.
So it can be, your favourite, because I don't know how deep to go with the questions.
It's like a
Depends
pub
who it
quiz.
is. Depends
pub
who it
quiz.
is, yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I've also got an amazing tiebreaker as well. If you,
Nice.
We'll talk about that next week.
Okay, so Mr. Beebe, what's your pick of the week?
This is a guy. I think he's an Italian guy called Dario. I'm going to butcher his last name. Chazalinho, perhaps. Incredible modern jazz guy. I came across. I think you showed.
I posted his video. His
My
solo
goodness,
version of All the Things You Are.
he is incredible. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've dug out his album, his latest album. It's called Red Cloud, and it's some fantastic writing, lovely tunes, and mind-blowing playing. So,
Red Cloud.
so if you're into that kind of modern jazz thing, check it out. Dario Chazalinho, I think.
Maybe type it.
Yeah.
Maybe type it.
I'll just spell it
And my
out.
pick is. You guys will probably be aware of Mark Lettieri from Snarky Puppy. Well, Mark is not just in Snarky Puppy. Mark actually has 3 solo records out right now, and his latest one came out this weekend or last weekend. I think it was Friday. It came out. It's called Spark and Echo, and I love Mark. Mark's a super cool guy, an amazing player, and the great thing about this album is the previous 2 albums were quite fusiony. Lots of harmony, lots of kind of fusion-based guitar playing. He has thoroughly embraced his groove and rock roots on this album.
Yeah.
It's like mixing a fusion album with a Satch album. It's incredible. You've got to go and check this album out. It's
Yes.
absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
You check out Spark and Echo by Mark Lettieri, and then Red Cloud by Dario Chazalinho. We think, we're not sure, but there it is. You'll find it in the chat. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it.
No.
What's that?
So we're not getting no picks.
Oh no, I thought you didn't have any. Do you have something?
I'll tell you what. I will put forward a.
Better not be Whit Smith again.
It's not Whit Smith. Although one of the guys that
I'm
plays for
joking.
this guy plays with Whit Smith.
Cool.
There is an album, I think it's called A-Town Blues by a guy called Wayne Hancock. That's kind of like a sort of shouty hillbilly western swing guy, but the lap steel playing on it is amazing.
Wow.
And there's a guy called Dave Biller, I think. Really kind of sophisticated sort of swing blues chops. So check that out.
The I and the E the other way around. Okay, cool. So what was the name of the album?
A-Town Blues. It's
A-Town
Wayne
Blues.
Hancock.
Got anything you want to pick?
No.
Okay, cool. So guys, all we're going to do, if you've never seen the guitar, we always play the theme tune at the end. So we're going to play the theme tune.
Let's just remind everybody to send pictures again, just if anyone's tuning.
Okay,
tuning
let's
in, just do
remind
that.
you of a couple of things. So, go on.
So yeah, we're doing running a competition. So gastabation
Gastabation.
competition. So if you send us a picture of your rig or your rack or whatever, the
Guitars and amps, everything.
Yeah.
Send us everything, guys.
Pedalboards,
Pedalboards, whatever.
and we'll then pick the one that we find not necessarily just impressive but interesting perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's not necessarily going to be whichever one's
Yeah.
worth the most money
Exactly.
wins.
yeah.
Don't condone
Like
that
if you've
kind
got
of
an
behaviour.
actual rat that you've shoved 2 cables in, that's amazing.
Oh.
Stuff like that, basically. Crazy stuff. Or the most incredible rigs we've ever seen.
Yeah. Is that it? Was the
We're gonna put the theme tune
Oh, yeah, that
back in
links into
track
this.
for you guys, but we'll post it on Facebook. So
So yeah, if you want to jam over the theme tune and send that in to us, then we will feature someone in the last episode of this season.
And this theme tune, every week somebody different solos over it. And we've got to let the Shredmeister do his tapping and
That's it.
his craziness extravaganza on this. So guys, we'll play the theme tune and then we're straight out. So thank you so much for joining us. Noisy. Noisy.
I'll try
That's
and learn
good. That
some
means
Southern
gain.
before the end of the season.
Next week, I'm playing one of my tunes off my album. We've got some cool stuff for you. Yeah, do we remember what we're discussing next week?
No.
We'll let you know. We'll
Be a
let you
good
know.
topic.
It'll be a good topic. All right, guys, we will see you next time for the Guitar Hour. See you again, guys. See you
guys.
soon. Bye bye.